Welcome back to Switzer on Australia's Business Channel. Sarina Russo started her company teaching just 9 students. Today, more than 5,000 students graduate annually from the Sarina Russo schools, and over 25,000 people are placed into employment by Sarina Russo Job Access. Employing more than 700 staff, the group's founder is now also focusing on giving something back. She's just returned from the Clinton Global Initiative annual meeting in New York, where participants discuss ways of improving access to health and education in developing and in the third world economies. Sarina Russo joins us now in the studio. How are you, Sarina?
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Yeah, well, it's great to see you. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me back on your show. It's really a popular show now. You've got, huge fans.
That's because people like you come on the program.
Well, there you are. So I hope I can contribute something tonight.
I'm sure you will.
Yes.
I'm sure people would be looking at you and say, well, how did you do it? Especially if someone's in business. How did you go from 9 stenography students, weren't they?
Yes.
To what you've got today?
Well, I guess it's taken 31 years.
Yeah.
I mean...
so time was one important thing.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. And I guess my advice to anyone who wants to start a business is that find a passion. 2 things motivate you, either inspiration or desperation. Either one will work. And for me, I was desperate. I was a fired legal secretary. And 31 years later, we actually touched thousands of people's lives all over the world, including the UK. Okay,
so tell us how you went from... So you started off in the education of typists, stenographers, those office assistants type people, right? And I got the right language?
That's right, yeah. Okay. It was a little business school where we were teaching people how to become a secretary, even though I had been a fired legal secretary.
Why were you fired?
Well, I guess 31 years ago, I was a dormant entrepreneur and no one recognised it, and I had to go through a bit of pain, through, a bit of rejection.
Were you an outspoken employee who occasionally annoyed her boss?
Absolutely. I think I must have been someone who wanted more, I wanted to become more, and the only way I was going to find out is through rejection. And so therefore, if anyone tonight has just been fired or has been rejected by their loved one or whatever, just elevate your thinking and think, what else can I do with my life? Because you can allow 2 things to happen. You can allow someone to sabotage through their thinking, or through your own self-belief, do something about how you feel and move forward. Yeah,
and being positive has been historically proven to be the best way of succeeding. You've just got to be positive, haven't you?
Well, I guess it's not about being positive. I think it's about elevating your thinking and always seeing a silver line through every challenge. And, everyone has challenges. We have challenges, whether it's, a bank loan has been rejected, or, you didn't get your promotion, or, you may find that you don't have enough money, or, your boyfriend says it's all over, or your girlfriend does. Sometimes we allow those events to affect the rest of our lives. But it happens to all of us. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it.
Exactly. All right, so how did you go from a business school to being such a big player of employees into jobs? How did you do that?
We became a multinational because I, as a leader, have a vision. And one of the greatest skills you must have as a leader is to be able to execute the vision and have great people behind you. We have over 1,000 staff, in fact 1,100 staff all over the world now, helping me to execute this vision. And the vision is that I'd like to become the Madonna of education, training, recruiting and in job creation.
Why Madonna? Why
she's made it in music, so why can't I do it in education and enhancing someone's life? Because as you enhance someone's life, you're actually enhancing your own, and that, to me, is richness.
Did you always understand or have these views, or is it something you've picked up along the way by mixing in the company of other people who've been successful?
Well, actually, as a child, I realised that my father was financially he wasn't as rich as the next door neighbour. And I realised then that, I used to wish, why wasn't I as a child, why wasn't I born in a rich family? Why did I come out of a family that was just struggling all the time with financial independence? And then I started studying success. And in my teenage years, I looked at the people next door who had all the hotels and the Rolls Royce, etc. And you've got to study success, but you also got to study failure. But I then decided I was going going to study success. So I started studying what successful people were doing. What you'd find is that what they were doing is they were educating themselves, lifetime learning. You know, they'd go out there and do something. They'd take a risk. They'd also go out there, and if they failed, they'd start again, or they'd repeat it again. And so I then decided that when I started my business, I was never going to give up. And this is what happens. You know, failure in people is because they never, ever give it a go again. They failed once or twice, and they just sit back and say, I was a failure. But failure is a learning experience of your journey to life. And it's how you approach it and how you embrace it is where really is the difference. So if there's anyone with us today, it's not about failure, it's your experiences. What did you learn from that? There's always a silver lining to every failure of experience.
Can you remember,
and it's an experience, it's not failure.
Can you remember a defining moment when you said, okay, I'm Sarina Russo, the hard worker who's doing really well, but now I'm going to be a different Sarina Russo from what I've learned of what I've seen?
No, not at all, Peter. Every day is a discipline. Every day is a discipline of standards. Every day is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. And if you do something, if you look at the swimmers, if you look at Hillary Clinton, if you look at Michelle Obama, if you look at Obama, Barack Obama, he started lecturing or speaking in a kitchen, and he practiced his presentations in a kitchen with only one person listening to him, maybe his wife and a friend, and then it grew and grew and grew, and now he speaks to the world. So it's about self-belief. It's about visualising yourself doing more and becoming more and going out there and giving more and taking the risk.
And you also started with the vision. You made that point. The vision is an important starting point. You had the vision when you kicked off.
I had a vision of starting a small school, but I didn't have a vision at that time that I'd become globally iconic in education, training, recruiting. It's been a daily discipline every day, mentally discipline myself to do more, raise my standards, and ask others to raise their standards as well. But nothing is greater than enhancing someone's life. When someone comes to you and says, I've got that job, I've got my financial independence, that to me is wealth.
Now, before we talk about Bill Clinton, at the moment, the labour market seems tight. But businesses keep reporting that things aren't going well. What's going on in the labour market right now?
Well, I think the labour market is strong. And it's under 5%, or it's 5.3. I think everyone has an opportunity to go out there and find financial independence. I also believe that not everyone, like myself, can work for employers. So now what we have is we have a program that enables you to start your own business, and we nurture you and mentor you through starting your own business. There are a lot of people who are dormant entrepreneurs. And I say, go out there, think of something that you love. Think of something you're passionate about and experience by selling that service or selling that product. For example, in Rwanda right now, I've got a girlfriend by the name of Francine Lefrak. She's actually creating employment through Rwanda with IVF women making these beautiful bracelets under same sky. Look how gorgeous they are. So just even a woman who has IVF in Rwanda can become financially empowered. And this is what Clinton Global Initiative is all about.
Ask the question.
Is empowering women to do more and become more. It's all about self-belief, commitment, driving and acceptance of thyself.
Okay, so why did you get involved? Apart from the fact that you clearly want to help people, what was the motivation to get involved in this particular movement?
Well, I was invited as a member to be part of the Clinton Global Initiative. So you can have all the money in the world, but you have to be a member. And if you look at the CGI, the Clinton Global Initiative, the people that the president attracts are heads of state, entrepreneurs, Bill Gates, Richard Branson,
Sarina Russo.
Sarina Russo, Queen Rayna, you know, Kevin Rudd was there. I mean, it's an extraordinary opportunity for the President of the United States of America, the 42nd President. He's not just the 42nd President of the United States of America. This guy is the President of the world. He's raised billions and billions of dollars through inspiring others, through facilitating heads of state to go out there and do more with your country or to touch third world countries like Haiti, you know, like Rwanda, like Africa, Australia. You know, one of the commitments that I make this year is to help Indigenous. I'm really wanting to go to Alice Springs. Why Alice Springs? Because that's where they need the help. If you read the Australian Today, you know, Senator Macklin is doing everything possible to be able to help the Indigenous. That's my commitment.
Now, I was in Alice Springs a few years ago, and we were driving out in the taxi and we saw a whole bunch of blokes trying to get into the pub at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and my wife was with me, burst into tears and said, we really should be doing more to help Indigenous Australia, as you were saying. And I thought one thing they really need is mentors, people getting out there rather than government all the time, mentors to show Aboriginal people how to get involved in business and create operations, like for example, there's a recruitment business that won the Telstra Award quite recently. Do we need to get different sorts of people in there helping Indigenous Australians?
Well, the government is doing that. The government is partnering with us, with private providers, to be able to do more, because private providers have got a different mentality. They've got an entrepreneurial spirit. They have to think differently to survive. They need cash flow. We've got to make profits so that we can grow and prosper and expand.
And they need role models too.
And they need role models. And I mean, there I have 31 years. We've already helped Indigenous. We're one of the best in the country. But why not expand your skills and help more? If you have the ability to help more, why not? It's the journey of life to question yourself, are you tapping your full potential?
So are you happy with what government's doing now compared to what they've done in the past?
I believe that the government is truly committed to Indigenous. But I also believe, people like Tony Abbott, the opposition, are equally as committed to helping Indigenous. But it's not just the opposition, Tony Abbott. It's not just Julia Gillard's government. It's everyone in Australia's responsibility to go out there and touch the Indigenous as an individual, as a group, and as a community, and as a nation.
Well, Sarina, thanks for joining us on the program. It's always a very quick interview because you very seldom take a breath, but you always provide some interesting information. Good luck with it all.
And can I say congratulations, because your program is actually inspiring so many people. And I'm sure tonight we've inspired one person to go out there and get that job or start a business.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
It was great seeing you, Sarina. After the break, I asked